Las Vegas est à la mode. Après le sexe dans Showgirls, l'argent et le pouvoir dans Casino, Living Las Vegas nous plonge dans les bas-fonds de la ville mirage. Le film, 4 fois nommé aux Oscars, est tiré d'un roman quasi autobiographique. Un scénariste loser décide de se suicider à l'alcool. Pour Elisabeth Shue, très loin ici de la midinette de Karate Kid, et pour Nicolas Cage, c'est l'occasion d'impressionnantes performances d'acteurs. Un tandem dirigé par le réalisateur anglais Mike Figgis, qu'a rencontré Isabelle Giordano.
I really wish you'd come home with me. You're so cute. And I'm really good in bed, too, believe me. No? Okay.
My heart is crying. What is the best way to sum up the movie? Is it a movie about a drunk, or a beautiful love story, or a desperate love story?
It's a love story that takes place between a drunk and a prostitute. And is as pure a love story as any other love story. And I think it's interesting. I think the characters, because they're unusual, or unusual for film, it's a new way of looking at that story. It's a very simple story.
If you'll come to my room for 1 hour, I will give you $500.
She's very vulnerable, and yet she has a real sense of survival. She needs to be tough to protect herself from the dangerous world that she lives in.
A date? What are you, a hooker?
You can never, ever ask me to stop drinking.
Is it true he had a coach to learn how to be a drunk?
What we did, I mean, for example, when I did Internal Affairs, I had someone on the film who was working with the Los Angeles police. And when we did Leaving Las Vegas, I had an alcoholic, a friend of Francis Ford Coppola's, Nicholas's uncle. And it's a man Nicholas has known since he was a very small boy. He was there for both of us as a consultant.
It looks like I'm with the right girl. I must say I'm very impressed you would buy this for me. I'm gonna feel it right now.
Because they're both very fragile, and because the time together is very short, they are able to love each other in the present, which is very hard for people to do. You know, we're always thinking about the future, and, you know, one day we'll get married, and one day we'll live in a house, and these two characters are able to live right in the moment. And if I took anything away from the movie, I tried to appreciate my life more in the moment.
Why did you want to shoot in 16mm?
16mm is not an admission of poverty. It is a statement of intent. I love Super 16. I like the way the image is looking. I don't like 35mm very much.
Why?
It's too clean. It's too perfect.
Oh, you look extremely beautiful.
I do.
How was the atmosphere on the shooting?
The strange thing about the way the film was made was that actually it was the happiest I've ever been in my life making the film. Although whilst we were doing certain scenes that were very tragic, I can remember crying and being very moved, but at the same time quite euphoric, being able to work in this way so fast, made the film in 28 days.
Like a first movie?
Like a first movie, but with the experience and the intelligence of 7 films.
My heart is crying. Do you think this nomination is a kind of hope regarding the American cinema?
Yeah, I do. It represents something very interesting that's happening within the Academy now. Of course, younger people are voting. And so you have a very clear split between the old guard and the new guard here.
Talk about tomorrow. You want to do something?
Yeah, sure. But we're going to talk about it tonight at my place.
I'm not much good in the sack, Sarah.
What do you expect from this ceremony?
I expect that Nicholas has a very, very good chance of winning.
My heart is crying, crying, lonely children.